Well, we didn't take this trade. We were eating lunch. My cat and I were sharing a can of albacore tuna. But we do see the market came down to 91. This is exactly where they started to hit the ask. Last time we tested the 1388 area. This was the area that the buyers initiated trade, and sure enough, that's right where the market came down to. You can check that on the total volume chart. We'll put that link under the snippets today, so you can reference that low at 1391 with the total volume, or the bid-ask chart, where you can see the initiative buying. So if you recognize that when the market came down to the 91s, on a discretionary basis, you had an opportunity to act quickly and maybe get filled at the 91, 75s, 90. Well, you couldn't have got filled at the 75s. You might have got filled at the 92s, 92 and a half, 92 and a quarter. You might still even have an opportunity to get filled at 92 and a quarter. We'll stand by and watch this trade. Here we have a test now toward the low 92s. If you wanted to get long, this might be an area here. 92.50, 92.50, 92.50, 92.50. Let's take the 92.50s. Take the 92.50s. Alright, there we have the 92.50s. 2 at 92.50. We'll look to offset 1 at 93 and a quarter. 93.75, excuse me. We have our eyes open here now with comparative analysis to the column about 10-15 minutes ago. We see we came down last time with a cross of 28, 17, 15, 10, and nothing under that much. Let's see now, we're trading 1,000, cross 1,300, 7, 1,200, 16, 13, 2011. We have negative 2,000 delta. Last time we were down, we had negative 5,000 delta. We're anticipating a bounce. Our position at 92.50 could possibly be better. Could have possibly been better down here at maybe 91.50. But we haven't taken any other positions to better that position. Let's go ahead and do that now. Let's take the 91.75s and better our position. We'll take 2 more at 91.75. Now we have 2 at 92.50, 2 at 91.75. We'll offset those 2 at 92.50 and keep the 91.75s. Well, we ticked at 92.50, but we didn't tick on the bid. We need to get to 92.75 to be able to offset those original 2 at 92.50 and one of the newer positions at 92.50. Excuse me, that is offset the original 2 at 92.50, and we need to keep the first offset of our newly entered 91.75s until we reach 93 for 1.25 points. We have the 92.50 fill on the original 2, so we are now broke even on the 92.50 fill. We have now 2 at 91.75 long. If we take 93, we will offset 1 at 93 for the first 1.25, and then look for a retracement at least back to the 97s for the second contract. We never got filled at the 93, so we actually never put our break-even stop in, so we're just going to hang tight here and watch the reaction to the 91s. We don't see any volume coming in here in the 90, 50, 75s. But we're still anticipating a fill on our first contract at 93. This will be the 4th probe. The C period, the E period, the G period, and the I period down here into the 90s. If we in fact can't break this low, you would think there would be short covering into the close. There's some cross trade occurring now. 2,000, 1,000, 1,100. We see down here. We'll keep our eye on the 90s here. if the 90s break, we could very well be heading down to the 87s and 88s. I prefer not to take my 91.75s down that far. That's very important to hold here. 2800 cross, 1900 cross. If it doesn't hold and we find ourselves on the wrong side of the market, we're going to have to keep an eye on the total volume chart to see if in fact we're building volume on the way down and make a decision as to where we are in the 91.75s. For now, we don't see any signs that we're building significant volume below the previous area of the 89-88 price range. You might have been able to better your position down here in the 89s, but we're standing tight with the 91.75s for now. Okay, we're going to take the 89.50s here and get back the 91.75s at the first opportunity. So we are now long 2 at 89.5. We are looking to give back the 91.75, so now we have 2 more at 89.50 and we'll hold on to those. So we get back to 91.75, we'll give those 2 back, and we'll probably give another one back from the 89.50s at 91.75, and then we'll keep our second contract for a run up toward the 97s. We're approaching our exit on the original 2 contracts at 91.75. When we hit go through 91.75, we'll offset those original 2, and we'll offset an additional one from our 89.50 entry, and then keep our second 89.50 for the 97 target. There's our 91.75 fill on the break-even contracts. Now we have an additional fill at 91.75 for our 89.50 entry. That gives us 2 1/4 points profit on that. We'll put our stop now in at 89.50 and ride the second offset to 97, where that area of resistance is. We have our hot stop at 89.50. The market ticked down to 90, but didn't tick down to 89.50. So we will patiently here wait and see if we get stopped out. We'll take a break and look to see what happens in the afternoon session. Well, it looks like they're going to try to hit the 89.50 stop here. That's our original entry. If so, we'll get broken even on the second contract and have taken 2 1/4 points on the first contract to break even on those original 2 positions that we offset earlier. They did not get down to 89.50 though, so we're just hanging tight here. Maybe they'll give us a break, and that will be the low of the J period. We're still holding for our 97 exit on our 89.50 buy. Just yesterday or the other day we talked about not having a trailing stop strategy, of which I still don't have one. So we have our hard stop in at 89.50. Hope we don't give all that profit back. But I'm in the middle of trying to build a fire, get rid of a headache, and cook lunch. So we're just going to have 89.50 there as a hard stop and have 97 as our exit. This seemingly is a challenging market to trade here. We're trying to be patient to get our targets, but it doesn't seem to be happening. The J period is the beginning of the afternoon period. I would assume that this is where the action is going to start. I'm concerned though that they might test the lows before they do try to rally the market. We're gonna stand by here and put our stop at 91.25 is our stop for our trailing stop, so we don't give away all our profit. 91.50. Let's make it 91.50. Okay, they took our stop at 91.50, so we were out of the market. So we had a total of 2 additional points on that trade from the entry. That was a 4.25 point trade. Not optimized, not getting filled at 97. We did get up to 95 though, but never could get up to 97. I would not be surprised they try to test the low, and we might be able to have another opportunity with a real careful eye, real watchful eye on any volume coming in, reaching the lows intraday and then heading into the close with heavy selling volume.